Okay, so I think at this point I'm supposed to talk to the inspector here to try and get Halloween off the hook.
Ah, Mr. McPherson, I was just thinking about you. Good to see you again. Have you brought me any more culprits?
Okay, I need to try and do this carefully.
You've got very little on Halloween, Inspector. Unless you have further evidence, your culprit will soon be a free man, cleared of all suspicion.
I have some solid witnesses, and moreover, a very accurate witness sketch. Thank you.
We've been barking up the wrong tree from the start, Inspector. The Whites never were the Whites.
The Whites were not the Whites? McPherson, what are you talking about?
The Whites do not exist. That's
The Whites do not
okay.
exist. I have their passports here. They are American citizens. They did not arrive in Paris a few days ago. They got here over a month ago. You want to know what name they used? Johnson, Inspector.
All right. Let's suppose they were using pseudonyms. Could you tell me why?
Ruby and Regis are not the real names of the Orphée victims. I have in my possession a ring that clearly indicates the woman's name was Faye.
That does not prove anything, McPherson. What about all the sweet talk, huh? Faye and Ferry. Of course. Why complicate things to my Ferry with love?
A letter. A letter signed Sophia Blake confirms that they were hired to commit a robbery. The letter is addressed to Faye and Jerome Johnson, Inspector.
Thieves? What did they steal then, McPherson? We did not find anything in their room, and moreover, no one has brought up charges. Explain that.
Okay. Hold on, this is a very delicate process, apparently.
This is the Whites' modus operandi. They move to Paris under an assumed name, Eaton. They steal an object, the head of Baphomet. Then they seek refuge at the Orphée under a new identity, the Whites. And they make their delivery.
This object, the head of Baphomet, is it valuable?
Let's see. I think it's that one.
I'm not sure. I doubt you can put a monetary value on it.
Right. Listen, McPherson. I will check all this out. If you find anything else, come and see me again.
If you have any doubts about d'Alpin's involvement, I have something that will convince you, Inspector. A glass vial, taken from his home, identical to the one found broken in the White's room.
McPherson, Grégoire d'Alpin is surely not the only man in the world to own such a vial. It proves nothing.
Okay, I think this is it.
Stop protecting Dalpin. He's the only man in Paris who can obtain these vials. The only one capable of putting this gas inside them. The purple gas he uses to put his victims to sleep.
Leave the vial with me. I will have it examined.
Here you are.
Thank you, Macpherson.
Okay, and then we have to... I am doing a walkthrough for this part because it's very delicate and we could easily get like a terrible ending if we don't do this right. So... Alright, I need to give him... the knife. Okay, there we go.
Inspector Lebrun, what I have shown you is irrefutable proof of Eloin's innocence. I found the knife used to cut off the victims' heads.
The murder weapon must be a knife of extreme precision, medical precision, with an incredibly sharp blade. Show me what you have, Macpherson.
This is the murder weapon, just as I found it at Gregoire Dalpin's home.
A Liston knife, used by doctors for amputations. With a single movement, you can remove a limb. Impressive. I will see what we can learn from this. Thank you, Mr. Macpherson.
Lupin is dead is the next thing I need to say.
Dalpin. Dalpin is dead. He's been dead for over a week.
What are you talking about? If anything happens to Mr. Dalpin, I assure you heads will roll.
They have rolled.
Dalpin looks to have died peacefully of old age. Nothing like the other murders. I have a photo here. See for yourself.
Even if Mr. Dalpin had died of natural causes, it would not prove Eloin's innocence, Macpherson. Quite the contrary.
If Dalpin has been dead for over a week, he couldn't have hired Eloin to investigate. Do you not see, Inspector? Somebody else hired Eloin.
And I suppose you're going to tell me who this mysterious person is, Mr. Macpherson.
One gold, one brass. One at Dalpin's, the other at Kaufner's. 2 ancient coins. These prove that both men were involved in the murders.
Everyone has the right to collect ancient coins. Anyway, what has Dr. Kaufner to do with all this?
Face facts. I think this is it.
That is too much. Will you never face up to the facts? You know as well as I do that coins like these were found on all the victims.
How do you know about the coins?
A couple of anonymous sources.
Of anonymous sources are enough to keep me abreast.
Beauvais will get an earful about this. Leave the coins with me. They are evidence.
This you can investigate.
With this, you can start investigating the true motives behind the murders.
Thank you, Macpherson.
Your charge of murder against Eloin just doesn't hold water, Inspector Lebrun. Another man is dead, Hulot. Albert Hulot was killed in the same circumstances as the Whites and Mallet.
In other words, the accomplice is still out there.
Nope. Hold on one second. I think it's this one.
But Inspector, Elouin and Hulot never met. He had no motive for killing him.
Elouin had never met the Whites, but he killed them nonetheless. Albert Hulot was probably another embarrassing witness.
I hope these clues will enable us to prove that Elouin is innocent.
I will speak with Elouin, and we shall see.
I think this means I did it
If I
right.
understand correctly, the Whites were not the Whites, but the Eatons, who are in fact the Johnsons.
Mm-hmm.
A couple of professional con artists hired to retrieve a relic at the Alpines by Sophia Blake. Also your employer, Mr. McPherson. Yet according to this note, Sophia Blake is currently being held hostage by Mr. de Alpin. Would it be the same de Alpin we see dead in these photos? Do you understand anything?
It's just that...
That is to say that you and me are going to have a little chat to set this story straight from the beginning.
Lebrun, aren't you tired of making people believe this story? The evidence is there, on the table.
Sir, I advise you to go back to your paintbrushes and leave the authorities to do their job. Now, if you will excuse us,
May I retrieve my documents?
consider these documents as facts, Mr. McPherson. And without facts, there is no proof.
Yes, and there's the proof of my innocence, Lebrun.
We shall see about that, Elouin. We shall see. Mr. McPherson, goodbye.
Poor Elouin. I did what I could for him. The only thing I've got left now is my conscience. Me, Blake, and my conscience.
Okay, I think with all the evidence I collected, I think I just got him off the hook. I think. I could be wrong, though. Sup, dude?
It would be better if you spoke to Inspector Lebrun directly. I will show you in immediately.
That's...
I do not want to be mixed up in all this. No thanks, it's not for me. Way too complicated.
Oh, okay. I don't really need to be here, but okay. So I think I've done it. I'm going to save. And hold on, before I do that, I need to make sure I save in such a way that I will know where I am. So if I stare at this guy's face and save the game, Yeah, okay. Although I also suspect I just kind of messed up the saving thing, but okay. Never mind. We have the head of Baphomet. Fake and real. Ah. Yeah, we don't know which is which. That's good. Okay. Alapin's house is where we have to meet at. As far as I know, anyway.
Mr. Macpherson, did you know that in Tarot, the hanged man is not put to death, but confronted by his destiny instead? Arriving at his journey's end, he is able to see his life again from a new angle. Sometimes, a man thinks of certain events again and discovers that he was tricked, betrayed.
McPherson! Help me, Gustav! Don't let him! He's insane!
This painful blow, this moment when our convictions, our beliefs, our passions
That's
are shattered.
uncomfortable angle.
When you discover your life has been nothing but lies, trickery.
McPherson! Help me down! He'll kill me! He'll kill you! Like he killed all the others! He killed them all! That Kaufner, he killed them!
Judged, all guilty of having tricked me, betrayed me, stolen from me. Just as you did Blake. And just as she tricked and betrayed you too, Mr. Macpherson. The Baphomet is mine. It has been mine for centuries. It is my immortality. Give me back the head, Macpherson, or she will be sentenced before the tribunal of God.
Gosh, how do I answer this? Oh man.
The Alpin. You turned to crime, whereas you had the opportunity to live in peace forever.
Their death is fair payment for their treachery.
Haven't you understood that nothing in all this can wipe out your suffering, your grief, your Adeline?
Stupid jazz music is ruining the goddamn moment.
How can you believe in the purity of a love, whilst revering an idol such as the Baphomet? You disgust me, D'Alpe. You are unworthy of your Adeline. You are unworthy of any woman. Take back your precious treasure. Cherish it. Right. You have the head now. Let her go.
Blundering idiot! Did you really think I would let you leave with my secret?
That was close.
Yes. I owe you one.
Never mind that. If it was not for you, I would still be rotting away in jail.
Come on. I'll buy you a drink at the Alembic.
It's not like me to turn down such an offer. And there's that cute girl that works there.
Be careful. People are not always what they seem.
Are we just gonna leave her there?
Hey! Don't forget me!
Yeah, I was about to say.
No. You'll get my bill within the next few days. And the police should be turning up any moment.
Is Goffner right? Was he really de Alpin?
What difference would it make? He's dead now. He might have been immortal. He's not any longer.
What some people will do for power.
Yes,
Oh.
there are people who would do anything for power and money. But not us.
Well. That's certainly a thing. Well, that was certainly a an experience. You can tell by the graphics that it's a bit dated. It is quite a few years old. I don't remember exactly when it came out, but it's a bit old. There are actually more games in this series. They're called Still Life, and I'm going to try and play at least one of them, see how it goes. I might play the second one. I'm not sure. Oh my god, the jazz music is still haunting me. Oh my god. Even after all that. So, it's possible Berenice is still selling a fake head of Baphomet. It's also entirely possible that that was the real head of Baphomet. We literally have no idea. Was it real or was it a fake? I do think that it was real in the... I think that the supernatural aspect was actually real, that it was someone, basically a skinwalker, skipping bodies for the past few centuries. Because it would not explain why Kaufner would suddenly, you know, go insane and believe he was de Lapin. Would not make sense otherwise. Of course, he could have been insane all along. I mean, it could be. Although I tend to think that, you know, that is at least true. And I hope that whatever box that we found of the Baphomet, because one of them, at least the one that we touched, it gave us a psychic impression, which meant that I think that one, at least, was real. And so either we still have that one in our possession or it was destroyed. And I hope it was the one that was destroyed. Anyway. We'll see. I guess we'll see what happens in Still Life. I know there's probably a few references to this game in it, but you don't actually need to have watched this game at all for that one. But I know Still Life will be the next game up in this series, at least. I hope you had fun watching, and I will see you next time. Bye!